and tonight I'm lucky to be running this college panel. We're extremely lucky at Hinsdale South to have college representatives that want to come to our school, that want to interact with us and talk to our students, talk to our families. And tonight, we're lucky enough that we have five college or universities joining us on this panel. We have the College of DuPage, we have the University of Illinois, we have Hampton University, Lake Forest College, and Loyola University. So lots of different schools, and we're very excited to hear from them tonight. We're going to ask questions, give them a chance to answer, and then we will also be sharing their contact information with you at the end of the presentation if you want to get in touch. Let's start. My college representatives, thank you so much for joining us. This is wonderful that you can do this for Hinsdale South and our families. Let's start with just introductions with your name and kind of your title or your role. So we'll keep it brief for this introduction piece, but let's start with the College of DuPage.
Hello, my name is Stephanie, and I am the assigned high school admissions rep for the Hinsdale School District. And I work with about 20 different high schools in DuPage County. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. Let's go on to the University of Illinois.
Hi everyone, my name is Erica Flores. I work with University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, and I am also the assigned counselor for the Hinsdale District as well. And I'm a Chicago regional, so I'm up here in the Chicagoland area.
Fabulous. Hampton University.
Hello. Oh, wait, sorry. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. Hello. Hi, everyone. My name is Kelsey Roundtree, and I'm one of the admission counselors at Hampton University. I do also serve as a 2015 graduate as well, so feel free to ask me any questions. We're located in Hampton, Virginia, and I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia.
Thank you.
And I'm in charge of the whole Midwest region as well.
Thank you. Loyola University.
All right, awesome. So my name is Sir Sajan. I'm one of the assistant directors at Loyola University Chicago. I have had Hinsdale and the entire district for a while now. I also kind of go to different visits across the world as I'm an international counselor as well. Any questions that you might have about the student experience as well as admission as well, I went to Loyola myself, so I'm happy to answer.
Thank you. All right, we're going to start with the panel, and we're going to go in that order that we just did. So we'll start with College of DuPage, then move to University of Illinois, then to Hampton, then to Lake Forest, then to Loyola. So let's start out with question number one. We would consider College of DuPage a community college. What are some of the unique features of a school like yours?
So College of DuPage, being a community college, means that we are able to accept all students regardless of what your GPA was in high school, what your ACT or SAT was. So it is a great place for someone who's maybe looking to have a fresh start after high school. I know with the pandemic, a lot of students have struggled. So, you know, the nice thing with your community college is everyone is accepted. With that being said, we do have very high achieving students that also attend COD and a lot of opportunities within the honors program. Community college, we are going to be your most affordable option because your tax dollars actually help fund the community college, and that is why we're able to offer tuition at such a discounted rate. So it is a great place. Just take some general education to a four-year college to complete a bachelor's degree, or it's a nice option if you're looking for maybe something short-term like a certificate or an applied degree that allows you to get into the workforce a little bit quicker. We do offer more than 230 different degree programs, so lots to choose from at College of DuPage.
Thank you, Stephanie. You went on to name some of those unique features. So all of the panelists do have the questions. So what we want to do with this one is, what are some unique features of your school, and what would you consider your school if they're a community college or they're a flagship state school? Why is it that category? So you did a great job with that one. Let's move on to University of Illinois. Again, what would you consider? Why do you consider it a flagship state school, and what are some of the unique features of your school?
Yeah, great question. So we are the flagships state school of Illinois. Of that fact, we are a four-year public district, and we are also a heavily research-based institution as well. So those are some unique features within the university. Tomorrow, all the notifications for students who have applied for the fall of 2021 will be released tomorrow. So we're super excited about that. So let your seniors know, if they don't already know, that tomorrow is the decision date.
Okay. Thank you so much. Let's go on to Hampton University.
Yes. So I would say one of the major unique things about Hampton, well, first and foremost, we are an HBCU. So for those who are not familiar with that acronym, an HBCU is a historically Black college or university. We are proud to say that we are ranked as one of the top 5 HBCUs in the country, according to US News and Global Reports. So we're kind of like your Ivy League for HBCUs in a sense. That's how we like to look at it. A lot of students have asked me, they say, oh, well, since you're at HBCU, are only Black students or are only African American students allowed at your school? And I tell them, absolutely not. Like, not at all. We welcome everyone with open arms. But we were originally founded back in the day when young African American students and Native American students weren't allowed to go to school. That's how these HBCU schools were founded. Some of our unique things I can say is that we are a Division I school, so we're in the Big South region. Another thing is that we have our landmark, our Emancipation Oak Tree. And when Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation to free the slaves, they did the reading of that on our campus. So that's a pretty big landmark. And then we have notable alum like Martin Luther King's mom went there, Rosa Parks worked there, Booker T. Washington went there. And I don't know if anyone has seen the movie Hidden Figures, starring Taraji P. Henson, but it's based on a true story. And one of those, the 3 African-American women who launched the space shuttle off into space, Mary Jackson is also one of our notable alums. So yes, just a little bit of fun facts. And one of the things I love about Hampton is that we're right on the water. So it's like a nice little getaway. We're right on the peninsula, surrounded by 3 sides of water. So it's a gorgeous campus that you should definitely check out.
Thank you so much. Thank you for those historical facts as well. That was wonderful. Let's move on to Lake Forest College.
Hi there. My name is Andy Keller. I'm an admissions counselor at Lake Forest College. I'd say 3 unique features about Lake Forest specific for the city. We took over 200 field trips in the year. In 1 year. In the city for a semester for students. Your automatic liberal arts education. And so we're a small private liberal arts school in Lake Forest, Illinois. So this, pragmatic liberal arts education is going to encourage you to take a wide variety of different classes. And it's also going to have lots of experiential learning abroad. We also have strong career preparation. Over 97% of our students within 6 months of graduation move on to graduate or those are a couple unique things about Lake Forest specifically, and the pragmatic liberal arts experience is common for many liberal arts schools that you'll find that's like Lake Forest.
Thank you, Anne. Let's go on to Loyola.
Awesome. So Loyola is a private Jesuit university, and basically what that means when you are talking about a Jesuit university is it's built on the basic tenets of caring for others, well, 80 different programs in countries. We have a very well-rounded education. Are really them time to kind of figure out exactly what they want to do and almost create a major in a way, which I think can be really helpful for a lot of students, especially when they don't know what they want to do. And then finally, we also have a 98% outcome rate. So 98% of our students have a job within 3 months of graduation as well, which is a great number. And it also is 100% within 6 months of graduation.
Thank you. Hearing all this information from all of you, it's making me want to go back to college. It's just awesome, all these opportunities and differences and everything that you have to offer. So thank you for that. Students and families, thanks so much for your attention with this. We're going to keep going. I do want to remind you that we are unable to answer questions in the chat because we're trying to be really respectful of your time. But please reach out to your counselor. Students, reach out to your specific counselor and we can answer those questions for you, okay? All right, moving on with the panel. The next question is, what other schools would you consider to be similar to your type of school? So let's start back at the top with Stephanie.
So some other community colleges similar to College of DuPage would be Waubonsee Community College, Joliet Junior College, Moraine Valley, or Triton Community College. The main reason why a student in DuPage County may end up looking to attend a community college outside of our area is if there was a program that you wanted to pursue that College of DuPage does not offer, you could go to that school and in return, you would actually be charged the in-district tuition rate for that community college. With that being said, College of DuPage is the third largest school in Illinois. So chances are you're going to find your program with us. We actually have a lot of students from the other counties near us that end up coming to COD because we do tend to offer the majority of the different programs that are out there. But as you're looking at our programs, if you're not finding something, just feel free to email me and we can see if we don't have it, what school we would be able to set up that agreement plan with you so that you could receive that tuition rate.
Great, thank you. Let's go on to the University of Illinois, Erica.
Yeah, so one university that I would say is comparable to U of I is definitely Michigan State. We are also, the university is very highly competitive with our applications, with our students. Again, we're a big research-based institution and definitely the size of the university. This past year, we've had just under 50,000 students on our campus. So we're pretty excited about that, and our numbers are continually growing. And we have a ton of different majors and minors to choose from. We have over 150 different majors and minors. And again, just like my counterpart from COD, College of DuPage, had stated, if you guys have any questions, can't find a major or minor that you guys are looking for, please feel free to contact me. I'm more than happy to help you guys locate that.
Great, thank you. Hampton University, Kelsey.
Yeah, so some schools that I would say are comparable to Hampton are other prominent HBCUs, which would include Morehouse, Spelman, Howard, FAMU, Tuskegee. The list goes on and on. But those are like your top ones. Xavier, that's another good HBCU. So I would say we're comparable to them. I hate to put Howard and Hampton in the same category because we're like rivals since we're both HU. Every year we have something called the Battle of the Real HU, and it's like a football game that we have. friendly rivals. But I mean, but it's an amazing school. So I would say that we are comparable to those other HBCUs.
Great, thank you. Lake Forest College, Anne.
I'd say a few other small private liberal arts schools that are very similar to Lake Forest are Beloit College, Kalamazoo College, Illinois Wesleyan, Grinnell College, and Augustana. You're going to find a lot of small private liberal arts schools around the Midwest too, so if you're trying to stay in that area, I think you'll be in luck. And these are all schools that are roughly around 1,500 students to 2,500 students. Lake Forest is about 1,600.
Great, thank you. Loyola, Shujit.
So other universities that would be comparable to Loyola would be other private Jesuit universities. So there's around 28 different universities across the United States, from Fordham University in New York to Loyola Marymount University in California to Marquette in Wisconsin to St. Louis University in St. Louis. There's a variety of different universities that are under that kind of Jesuit umbrella in itself.
All right, that wraps up that question. We have about 11 or 12 minutes left, and so I want to try to get through maybe 2 more questions if possible. This next one, please share with us 3 specific highlights of your college. It could be academic, athletic, scholarships, campus life. Many of you have already mentioned these things, but I want to get through this question because I think a lot of parents are wondering too, how has COVID affected the admissions process? And that's the last question. So I want to make time for that. So in terms of the highlights, if you could kind of be brief, I know it's tough, but in terms of athletic, academic, scholarship, campus life, let's start from the top. Let's go with College of DuPage, and if you could give us a few highlights.
So the 3 highlights I would mention about COD is 1, our Scholars Award program, and that is for high school seniors that live in DuPage County. Because of COVID, we removed the SAT and ACT requirement, so we are just looking at your GPA. We want a 3.5 out of 4.0 cumulative, and then we're looking at an essay, and that scholarship awards anywhere from $1,000 each year up to fully paid 2 years of tuition at COD. So a lot of opportunities for helping pay for COD. Another highlight would be our Engineering Pathways program with the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. It is a 2-year at COD, 2-year at U of I program for engineering. And because engineering, U of I is rated top, I want to say it's in the top 10 in the country for engineering, so it's a very competitive program. So we have that transfer partnership with U of I. And then lastly, COD has a student ambassador program where you can work with the admissions office. You can help us with either on-campus events, virtual events, and in return, we give you a free speech class. So that's a little over $400 that you would get by assisting with admissions. It's also a great way to meet people, and it looks really great on college applications.
Awesome. Let's go with University of Illinois next.
She stole one of my talking points about the pathways, but it's okay. So yes, we do have the Pathways program. It's an excellent program throughout the university. Another highlight that I did want to talk about is our new major that we added for system information sciences for our students. This is primarily for students who are interested in computer science, but are geared more towards the data review and coding specifically, who are not so keen on computer science within focusing on the mathematics or the engineering side. So this is specifically just for students who want to look at raw data along with just that coding aspect in general. And then just to touch on COVID really quickly, we have been able to monitor our COVID issues very closely, very well. Our students get tested twice, once every 2 weeks, I believe, just to double check that they're not infected. And this has allowed us to have hybrid learning on our campus for students to be able to attend classes and also do virtual learning. But we do have students all on campus living in the residence hall. So we're super excited about all of that and really just proud of our student social distancing and keeping the rules in place.
Great. Hampton.
So in terms of scholarships, we have our merit-based scholarship, and we've increased it. It was $5,000. So right now, our merit-based scholarship, it ranges from $7,500 to $25,000 per year. We are a test optional school, but in order to be considered for that merit-based scholarship, you are required to at least have a 3.3 GPA as your unweighted cum, 20 on the ACT, and a 1030 on the SAT. Whether you want to take the ACT or SAT, it's totally up to you, but you do have to have the GPA and the test score in order to qualify for the merit-based scholarship. Now, in terms of COVID, we do understand that a lot of students are not able to take the test. So we just recently added the character scholarship that our dean just sent us that email this morning. So the character scholarship, you can apply to it separately on our website. And that scholarship is worth $10,000 per semester. And we also have a promotion right now for our room scholarships. And the room scholarships are just the first 300 students that's already been accepted to Hampton. It's like a promotion. The first 200 students that's been accepted will receive free room and board. Free room for all 4 years at Hampton. So those are the options that you have in terms of scholarship. Athletics, we have football, basketball, softball, volleyball, tennis, men's lacrosse, co-ed sailing team, track and field, cross country, and that's it for athletics. And then in terms of COVID, right now, unfortunately, our students are not allowed on campus. The only people allowed on campus right now is faculty and staff. Our students are currently taking classes virtually. We are hoping that in the fall of 2021, we will have our students back on campus, but right now, everything is being done virtually.
Okay, thank you. Let's go on to Lake Forest.
So 3 highlights or unique features of our campus, I think, will include the fact that we are such a small campus. So you're looking at about 1,600 students on our campus, which gives for a really tight-knit community. So there's lots of opportunity to have leadership opportunities on campus, both in clubs and organizations, as well as sorry, somehow I got muted. Sorry about that. So I think, you know, having really close connections to other students, as well as us having a 12-to-1 student-faculty ratio. So there's going to be lots of internship opportunities that you'll often learn through faculty or through our Career Advancement Center on campus. So over 85% of our students will conduct an internship at some point in their 4 years at Lake Forest. In addition, in terms of more admissions-related highlights, we have up to $30,000 for a merit-based scholarship for first-year students. This is determined on a grid that you can find on our website. If you go to lakeforest.edu and /scholarships, you can find that merit-based grid and sort of see based on either a test score or your average weighted GPA where you could fall on that grid. And so, like I said, that's up to $30,000 in merit-based aid. We're also fully test optional. We've always been test optional, including pandemic as well. So if you get nervous taking tests or don't have a great score, that's okay. You don't have to apply with test score.
Great, thank you. Let's go on to Loyola.
Okay, so I'll keep it really brief. We are newly test optional and part of the Common App. This includes and one in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, which allows our students, those are our most popular study abroad programs as well. We, uh, which allows the span of that 5 years you to graduate as a more competitive applicant for jobs as well. And talking a little bit about COVID, hopefully in somewhat of a limited hybrid format as well. We just a normal spit test a week, and I passed. So far so good. It's going well, and we hope that it continues to be safe throughout that. And I know that the counselors mentioned this before in terms of visits to campus, so I did want to mention this. So we do not have any in-person visits available right now, but we do offer online information sessions as well as individual appointments with counselors at luc.edu/visit.
Okay, thank you. Really great answers. Many of you wrapped in the COVID piece, and you explained that your campuses are test optional or you have some other flexibility. We really have found with this program, when we run it too long, we lose interest. And so we don't want to keep people on, that much longer. But I just want to ask the panel, in terms of COVID and your college application, not what you're doing on campus, whether you have students there or not, in terms of the application, do you have a question on your application that addresses COVID? And if you could just answer literally in a 10-second blurb, we can start at the top with College of DuPage.
So no, our application doesn't have any questions about COVID, and that's mainly because, again, everyone is accepted to College of DuPage, regardless of grades, test scores, GPA. Really nothing from high school is going to affect if we accept you or not. So what you did during COVID, yes, it can help in the scholarship setting, but as far as our application, no changes.
Okay, thank you. Next.
Yes, we do have a COVID question on our application. We understand that students want to apply, and COVID has impacted their either activities, grades through virtual learning. So we do have that question. We do ask students to be as transparent as possible, just so we get a better sense of them and what they've been going through this past year. This past year, we did also go test optional. We're not sure yet. We have not heard yet anything if that will happen for the fall of 2022 as well. But that is what we did this past year. And I know the COVID related question will stay on there.
Thank you. Next.
Yes, we don't have the COVID question on our website, but I know it is on the Common App. So for students who do apply on the Common App, if you want to fill it out, you can. But we're aware that COVID is going on, so we already take it into consideration.
Okay, thank you. Lake Forest.
We're also on the Common App, and we also don't have a specific COVID question on our own, like Lake Forest hosted application, but we have a really personalized and holistic application process. So it's likely that if you're applying to Lake Forest, you're going to have a conversation with your counselor anyway. So yeah, we will always welcome conversations like that.
Thank you. Loyola.
So we don't have a COVID specific question, but we are part of the Common App as well, and we were newly test optional this year in response to COVID, and we will continue to be test optional for fall of 2021 as well.
All right. Fabulous. That's very helpful. We are so grateful for our panelists tonight. Lots of great information for everybody. We're going to slide with the contact information for our representatives, and they've been gracious enough to, if you want to contact them, you'll be able to do that. The last kind of piece that I want to say is this program can be a lot to take in. I'm able to see, who's attending tonight. I have quite a few counselees in the crowd, so thank you, whether it's my student or parent. It's a good turnout tonight. Some of you have done this before. You've got an older child that you've been through this, but many of you are brand new. And I think this program and the information can be very overwhelming. We don't want to bore you with a 4-hour presentation. We could talk for 10 hours about all this, but we can assure you that the programming at Hinsdale South and the counseling department is going to hold your hand and take you through this process. Those of you who have older children who have already been through this understand how it works and the phases of the exploration and the application and the decision. There's going to be that invitation should have come to you already to your email for that junior planning conference. That's going to be an individual meeting. Again, it's on Zoom. And at that meeting, it will be specific to your child where we can work together to come up with a plan, an itemized plan where you'll know what to do over the next few months. So we don't want you to feel alone. It is a lot of information. The financial piece can be very scary. But we do have a very comprehensive program, and we are going to support you and your student. So we are thrilled that you were able to join us tonight. And if you have any questions, you're definitely, please, you're encouraged, reach out to your child's counselor. Or if you're a student on here, reach out to your counselor. And then again, we have this slide up with all of the contact information for our wonderful reps. Reps, you did a great job. You were awesome. We're grateful, and thank you so much.
I'm so sorry to interject really quick. Actually, I did get a new email. I actually just recently got married to change my last name. I thought you had my new email. I'm so sorry about that. So it is actually esflores@illinois.edu.
Okay, esflores@illinois.edu. So parents, students, you can write that down now. We will also take note of that for our records in the counseling department. And if parents don't have that information, they can contact us. So great. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful evening.